Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Holtz, Associate State Director for Outreach at AARP Maryland, and I am thrilled once again to be joined by Chef Christine. So good to see you again, Christine.
Lovely to see you, Jen.
Thank you, thank you. So we are here today because holidays are upon us, and everyone's thinking about their Thanksgiving and Christmas menus, and we wanted to bring Christine on to talk to us a little bit about a recipe for Thanksgiving that maybe won't go straight to our thighs. So we're really excited to have her come and talk to us about a healthier version of a side dish that everybody knows and loves. So Christine, talk to us. What do you have going on today?
All right. So despite overwhelming love for canned cranberry sauce, I am a fresh cranberry girl all the way. And it is so easy. And I've been tinkering with this a little because cranberry sauce typically, and this is more of a relish, it's got a little more heft to it, but it typically has just loads and loads and loads of sugar in it, which means sometimes if you have problems with sugar, it's something you have to avoid. And truthfully, I live for that Friday turkey sandwich with the cranberry relish all over the top. So I wanted to teach you, first of all, how you can make this just with regular white sugar if you like, but how you can utilize a sugar substitute to make this so it still tastes darn delicious and it's not going to raise your blood sugar through the roof, because we know Thanksgiving's about the carbs, right? I mean, I'm a stuffing girl, right? So give me all the side dishes, but I do like something kind of bright to break up all of that, right? You know,
Heaviness.
the heavy. Yeah, you've got it. So this is something I have been making for years and years and years, really like 20 some years, and you can make it up to a week ahead. So for all so for all my early birds out there, I would make it the weekend before, but it only takes a couple of ingredients. So let me show you what I'm doing, okay?
Go for it.
I have a bag of fresh cranberries. Now, a bag that you get at the grocery store is going to be 12 ounces. And that is, I'll show you how much that makes. You can scale this up or down or sideways, whatever works for you and your family this holiday season. So I'm the main offender when it comes to eating all of this. I've got to have that canned stuff for my daughter, but I try not to make tons of it. So just feel free to scale up and down as we go. But a 12-ounce bag of cranberries is going to give you 6-8 portions of this, just so you know. When you dump those out, and you can get organic, you can get regular, doesn't matter, but you do want to go through them. And even the freshest cranberries are going to have some squishy guys. I don't know if you can see, but like just some that are, you might find stems, you might find some that are squishy. Really, you want a cranberry that bounces. Now, don't go and bounce all your cranberries. You'll hate me and you'll get tired of it and you'll start flinging them at the cat. But I go through, I kind of just look to see if I have any big stems, if I've got any that are really squishy, and take it from there. Now, do you know, everybody thinks that cranberries grow in water, but they don't.
Where do they grow, Christine?
I know, because I always think about the bogs. They grow like in a bog, and they flood the bog so they all float. There's a little pocket of air in every cranberry, and they float and they pick them that way. I just think that's so cool.
I did not know that. A little science lesson today.
Thank you. Thank you. You can tell your kids.
I will.
Because everybody will say, no, they don't. All right. So I like to put an orange in it. You can throw a lemon, or a lime would still be really good. Think about cranberry and lime, right?
What is that tool you're using? What is that thing?
This is called a grater. It is kind of like a rasp that a carpenter would use. But you're going to find this. It's got lots of little blades on it. If you want, you could use a veggie peeler to peel off and then dice. But I love this. So it's just, sometimes people call it a rasp, but it's just a grater, little thin, skinny grater. So we get all of our zest out of there. And you will get all of the zest in here. Don't get too picky, just knock it off and you'll be fine. All right, so I've got that. And then I hate recipes that say half a cup of orange juice, or when you've used the orange itself, just use the juice of an orange here and just squeeze it yourself. The orange is going to be nice and soft because you just spent all that time taking the outer peel off. Ooh, my compost is going to be so happy. All right. Do you do lots of cooking at Thanksgiving?
Oh my goodness, Christine. So prior to COVID, I hosted the Thanksgiving for both my husband's family and my family. So
All at
about 40,
once?
yeah, about 40 guests crammed in. We have outdoor seating, we've got it all. And, we're going to try to do a scaled down version of that this year, finally, because
Okay.
everybody's, getting vaccinated and we want to reunite. So I've been thinking all week, what am I, and I do get a lot of help. I will not say I do it all by myself, but there's certainly a lot that does fall on my plate. So this is great. I'm so excited to learn a new dish.
I kid you not. It is so easy. You could have your kids help you make this. You can even do it all in the baking dish you're going to use if that's your vibe. Save a dish. I like this because I feel this is one of those low effort, high reward dishes where it tastes really fresh. It looks great. It adds to your table, but it didn't take a ton of effort. Like roasting a turkey, I hate it. I just hate roasting a turkey.
I just don't like everything you have to do before it goes in the oven. That to me is just the worst part.
Do you do all the
Deep
brining?
turkey. I do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for something, maybe injecting this year because it's such a mess. But I am really curious about what you're doing right now because is that a shallot? Are you going to put a shallot in our cranberry sauce?
I love you so much. All right, so check this out. So this is a shallot, and I love a shallot. Do you have to have one? Okay, you can use an onion, you can use a red onion, but we're better than this. We can get a shallot. Shallots are so easily available at the grocery store. I mean, you can find them everywhere now. And they just have a more mild flavor. I love them. I use them in everything. So what I did was I cut it through the root so that I had two pieces that won't fall apart. And then I just do a couple of horizontal cuts, not the whole way through. The more cuts, the smaller the pieces. And I'm going to use this whole shallot in here. And a lot of people
never seen a shallot or an onion in cranberry sauce. This is intriguing.
Yeah, I'm actually going to make dinner tonight because I'm going to have all of this cranberry relish. I'm going to do, I think, a pork tenderloin, and I've got some sweet potatoes, and I just got some challah bread. So I'm going to take this. Let me do this other guy.
While you're cutting, I just wanted to let you know we have a few comments coming in.
Oh, so who do we have?
We've got Eleanor saying, wahoo, hello, ladies, happy Thanksgiving. She commented on the orange zest. Apparently that's a favorite of hers. And she said, shallots, what a surprise. Do they dull the sweetness at all?
I'm going to say, instead of dulling the sweetness, it just kicks up the flavor. It gives more dimension. It gives more dimension to your cranberry sauce. And you're going to love this. I have a friend who's a butcher, wonderful guy. Every year, he calls me about a week before Thanksgiving and goes, yo, what's a cranberry recipe you've got? Because it balances so well. Sure. So I put that whole shallot in there. You can see it. I've got the orange zest. I've got the orange juice. And then for this one, I'm going to use sugar. Now, I'm going to use a whole cup of sugar because cranberries, eat a cranberry once. Your whole face will pinch up. Sure. They're crazy. All right, so I got that. Now, let me talk to you real quickly. You can find different brands of sugar substitutes. If you're watching your sugar, this one is a cup for cup. Now, what's that mean? That means it bakes or it cooks like regular granulated sugar. So you're going to scoop out. Now, I will tell you, I find that it runs a little bit sweeter than sugar, right? Of course. Okay. So it's supposed to be a 1-for-1, but I would do a 3/4, I think like 3/4 of a cup of something like this. You don't want to just add a couple of packets of whatever your favorite sweetener is, or a squeeze of agave or something like that. We need the sugar in there really to balance, and it's going to help our cranberries give off some of their liquid too.
Right.
So here's what we'll do. I'm going to take this, and I'll stir it together in here, but I'm going to pour the whole ding dang thing right into my baking dish. Now this is important. You have to use a glass or a ceramic baking dish. Don't use metal. Cranberries hate metal. So I know it seems weird, but I always use glass. And we're going to just stir it together. You can see I can stir it right here. I don't get too crazy about it. And in the meantime, I've heated my oven to 350 degrees.
Okay.
All right. Easy so far, right?
Oh, very easy. And by the way, we've got a couple more comments coming in from Nancy saying how much she loves cranberry sauce in general and that she thinks she may have to copy your pork tenderloin cranberry sweet potato menu for tonight because it sounds really good.
Yeah, and pork tenderloins. I don't know if you've noticed, but meat prices have kind of gone sky high. I mean, everything has right now. But pork tenderloins, you can typically get a 2-pack. And each one will have 2 in it for about $15, $16, which meat-wise is really good value. And pork tenderloin, super lean. It's really good. It's not super fatty. It cooks fast. Really, I hope you do. I hope you do. So, all right. So we're going to pop that in the oven. I put it in for 15 minutes. I give it a stir, and then I do another 15 minutes. And what we're looking for is the cranberries to give up their juice, and some of the cranberries are going to pop. Now, don't worry, it's not pop like explode. They'll just kind of pop and deflate a little bit in the pan.
Like ooze.
Ooze. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I have one question. So you're in the dish, you're stirring, you've got it in the oven, you're using the glass. And I know that a lot of traditional cranberry sauce recipes actually are done over the stove, more than likely in a metal pan. So I'm wondering if that really has affected the taste we've all been experiencing all of these years, that the way to go is the oven.
Well, and it's stored in a metal can, right?
Right.
You have to think about that too. I'm telling you, it just reacts better with glass and ceramic.
Right. Okay, good to know.
So, and hopefully you've got something that you can use. I have so many little ceramic dishes, and I have a million of those oven-proof glass dishes in different sizes. Now, that was a smaller one because a single recipe of this will take a 2-quart glass dish like that. You don't want to use a really huge pan if you don't have enough. It'll burn and it'll get kind of ooky. So let me show you. I have a finished product, so you don't have to stick with me.
Oh,
but
you're so prepared.
I am so prepared. I did want to tell you that when this comes out of the oven, you're going to go, Chris, you did me dirty. It's not cranberry sauce. It's too liquidy. That's okay. The pectin that the cranberries release, that stuff is going to firm as it cools.
Okay.
So panic not. Give it a little time. That's why this is such a great make-ahead recipe. And then check this out. It will, look at that.
Wow.
And I did a little scallion. Wait, I'm coming around because look how gorgeous this is. I was eating it by the spoonful.
Oh my gosh, it looks amazing.
I kid you not.
And the green onions on top, this is a brand new thing for me, but I think I would love it.
Well, I mean, aren't we doing salted caramel?
Sure.
Aren't we taking like the savory and the sweet, and we're combining them, and this is a whole new world. Now, some people go and add pecans or walnuts, and if you want to do that, I'd stir those in at the last minute. But I'm telling you, this is a win. You are going to love this stuff. It's such a great accompaniment. Remember, if you want to go with an artificial sweetener, if you want to go with something to keep the sugar down, make sure you're using a 1-to-1. You can find this at any grocery store. And it'll probably be on the top shelf. Where the sugar is low, this will be up on the top shelf.
So one last question about that.
Sure.
And I agree that sometimes the artificial sweeteners can be a little sweeter than sugar.
Yeah.
So if you're going to reduce the amount that you use by a little bit, does it affect the sauce at the end because it's pulling out that pectin? Does it make it a little more firm or less? I don't know, saucy?
That's such a good question. I love this question. So it should actually be totally fine. It shouldn't be
Okay.
any more firm because we're putting a lot in there, right? A 12-ounce bag is getting that 1 cup, or in the artificial sweetener, 3/4 of a cup. That's a lot of sweetener, and we need it because they're so darn tangy. But I texturally, you're going to be fine.
Awesome. Awesome. And I didn't want to miss anybody here, but we did have another comment from Carrie who said, Happy Thanksgiving this year for sure. So
yes,
getting lots of love today, Christine. Lots of love.
I love the love. Oh, and I did want you to know, this is the sauce I made with the artificial sweetener.
Oh,
this is
okay.
So you can't, I mean, you look at, seriously, don't even tell your family. They don't know. They don't care. Just make it like sometimes we got to do for ourselves.
I agree. And the consistency looks great. I mean, it looks amazing.
It's so good. I'm telling you. And this hasn't even been in the fridge yet. This is just from sitting and letting itself cool a little.
That's fantastic. This is amazing. I learned something new today. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that our audience did as well. And I'm super excited that we have another session planned for December. So while we haven't planned that out completely, I have no question in my mind that you will not disappoint. So thank you for joining us again, Christine. And I can't wait to see you next month.
Oh, I can't either. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
You do the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.